Hi, this is your host, Sonia Novick, and I invite you to pierce through the veil of what lies beyond the living into heaven. What is beyond what appears to be real? We invite you to explore with us what lies beyond this dimension and into many other dimensions. Come join us.
I saw my parents crying. I was actually above my body, looking at my body. There was this incredible, luminescent, kind of soft energy. I didn't want to come back.
Welcome to Beyond the Living, OBE is the show, Real Coaching Radio Network, and your host is Sonia Novick. That's me. In this show, we are putting a new spin on coaching and personal development through social broadcasting. So welcome everybody to my show, and I want to welcome my guest for this next week on the 27th of May, Richard Salva, author of Full Journey from Lincoln to Limburg. His book is about past lives, yoga, philosophy, and U.S. history. Wow, what a combination. So Beyond the Living show, radio show, is every Tuesday, as you guys know, my audience, at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And the following show, this Tuesday, the 27th, I will have my guest that's here with me right now, Rich Salva, who has a book about President Lincoln, past lives as a Himalayan yogi. And later incarnation of Charles Lindbergh received 5 stars for his book from Forward Magazine, Clarion Review, and Midwest Book Review. Here is Richard's website, www.lincolnreincarnation.com, which will be obviously posted in my blogs here with you guys. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a major paradigm shift in your realization that there is a life after death, which of course this is what the show is about, and many other things that are spiritual, and how this affects people on a daily basis in their daily lives. So with this awareness, you, the audience, will have the power to change your life for the better and to achieve anything you desire and you have desired in your life. For the better, obviously. Our cells retain memory, and our mind retains a memory of our past lives, and having a healing and a path to greatness for you guys to achieve a path to greatness, just like Lincoln did. And if our audiences, as you know, would like to participate with us on our show, please, we welcome you and would love for you to come and participate with us and discuss with us about the book and obviously about my upcoming movie on paranormal phenomena such as near-death experiences, of which I've had 2, and my other book that's coming up, out-of-body experiences. So now, Richard, welcome to my show. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for showing up. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write this book and what's your message for everybody?
Yes, thank you, Sonia. It's a pleasure to be on your show with you.
You're welcome.
The inspiration for this book came from, I'll tell you, I was on an airplane flight going to the East, and I was in between creative writing projects. And as a minister and a longtime yogi and a spiritual person, I thought I would just open myself up to the universe and ask for guidance. So I went into a state of meditation while seated on the airplane, and within less than a minute's time after I opened myself and asked for guidance, in less than a minute's time, the idea for this book came to me. I had remembered reading some years previous to this that a great master of yoga, his name was Paramahansa Yogananda, he's the author of the spiritual classic Autobiography of a Yogi that I'm sure many of your listeners are familiar with. Mm-hmm. And Yogananda's writings have inspired millions throughout the world, including the Beatles and Elvis Presley. But
wow.
Some years ago, Yogananda said that Abraham Lincoln had been an advanced Himalayan yogi in a past life, and that he was reborn as Charles Lindbergh. And the thought occurred to me, well, here are 2 men whose lives have been so deeply chronicled why don't I investigate this? Why don't I study their histories, go through the history books, go through the biographies, and discover if there is any evidence that what Yogananda said is true, if there is, are any past life connections visible between the two men. And as somebody who has practiced the teachings of Himalayan yogis for more than 30 years now, I should also be able to see those connections as well. And so I started this process, and I was just overwhelmed with the quality and quantity of connections between the two men. And the purpose of this book, you were asking about that, through these connections it is possible to see for ourselves our own past life connections, to see in the many, many ways that past life experiences and memories and issues affect our current lifetimes, our current daily lives, how we might be able to heal from past life wounds, for instance, how they may affect us either positively or negatively. Through that awareness, to be able to work with those connections, be able to, because awareness precedes control, being able to do something about them. And also, you had mentioned in the second half of the book, I go through and show how in Abraham Lincoln's life and words, he just demonstrated a past life familiarity with the teachings of yoga, the deeper teachings of yoga.
Okay.
We're not talking now about yoga postures per se, but more about the spiritual teachings that underlie those postures. And by going through and showing these teachings and how they relate to Abraham Lincoln's life, we see that his spirituality was really the foundation of his greatness. And that for each one of us, we can also follow his step-by-step past life path to greatness if we want to become great ourselves, whether in this life or in a future life.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, Richard. It sounds like we're going to have a phenomenal show. And what I'd love to do is we do these videos very quickly and fast so that we can keep your attention, my audience attention, our audience. So I would love to invite you to interact with us on the show by calling the VIP hotline that I actually have posted here down below. And up above are the websites for Real Coaching Radio, and you'll see a website actually on the show for Richard's website that he has for his book. And I would encourage everybody to connect directly to the studio if you want to ask questions directly from Richard, our author of our book. If you'd like to ask him questions about the book and about past lives and all that good stuff, or how he wrote his book, he'll give you a little bit of a clue about that. And then if you'd like, you also can interact with us by joining us on realcoachingradio.com, which is actually up here, and signing up with RCRN.info, which the website is up here, for you guys to log into the website and be part of our community, our social networking community. So again, call our VIP hotline at 303-747-5121. Press 226-305 to join us and have a multimedia experience. And basically the purpose of the show is that you must see change within the world by you changing yourself, and that's what this show is about. And until then, join us in this lively educational inspirational hour and have an awesome, awesome week. We look forward to seeing you then. And Richard, thank you very much for coming here and sharing a little bit of who you are so that people can get to know you prior to the show and come to the show and talk with us. So have a great, great day.
Can you feel the mood here? A